Hello everyone, my name is Jose Miguel Ariza, and today we're going to talk about data mining, about its importance, its benefits, and implications. Data mining is something that's been happening for a very long time in different ways, but nowadays with the rise of technology and all of us doing things online, it's become incredibly relevant in today's world. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you might be thinking of something and suddenly you open one of your social media platforms and boom, you see just what you were thinking about? Yeah, so imagine, maybe you want to buy some new socks and you were thinking about that. Maybe you were talking to your friend about it through your social media. Maybe you searched for it on Google, and then the next day you open Instagram and immediately you see an ad for socks. That's kind of crazy, but it has to do with data mining. This is also because your phone and all these applications know you. They might even know you better than you do. But how do they do this? The companies who develop these apps take our information and track what we browse and look on the internet, and then sell that information to other companies who will immediately attack us with ads and publicity related to what we like or what they think we might like, based on our online activity, based on what we do, based on what we search, even based on where we go to. So that's pretty scary, right? It's called data mining, which according to Investopedia is the process of searching and analyzing a large batch of raw data in order to identify patterns and extract useful information. Twin 2023. Of course, companies use this information to learn more about their customers, and this can help them develop stronger and more effective marketing campaigns. But there's also some issues with privacy, because at the end of the day, we use social media and internet, and our information is being sold without us knowing about it. But how does data mining work? There is a specific workflow for data mining that is divided into 4 specific steps. First, data is collected and loaded into a data warehouse. Then, business analysts and information technology professionals will access the data and decide how to organize it. Third, a custom application software will sort and organize the data depending on the decisions made by the business analysts and the data scientists and information technology professionals. And they will also use different modeling techniques, which will be discussed later. Finally, the end user presents the data in an easy-to-share format, such as a graph or a table. This process is also called deployment, where the information is shared with people, either with customers or stakeholders inside an organization. W. How data mining works, a guide. As mentioned before, there are different types of modeling techniques or data mining techniques that data scientists use. This information is extracted from the Georgia Tech Professional Education blog, 10 key data mining techniques and how businesses use them. Businesses nowadays are highly interested in hiring data scientists that know how to employ different data mining techniques. Depending on the type of business or the type of data or the objective that business has, data scientists can use different techniques to organize and present the data. First, we have clustering, which is when you group a series of different data points based on their characteristics. Then you have association. This is when data is organized based in its correlation or associations with other data. Relationships between data points in here is established. Then we have data cleaning. This is when duplicate or corrupted data is eliminated to highlight the most interesting or valuable data points. Then we have data visualization. This is where data is presented in a graph. This is basically it. Fifth, we have classification, and this is one of the most fundamental techniques, and it can be used in nearly any industry. Data points from large data sets are assigned to specific categories based on how they're being used. So in this case, it's kind of like clustering, but this one is more about usability and less about its specific characteristics. Then we have machine learning, where basically a computer organizes the information for you. Computers in this case use algorithms to learn how to organize the data on their own, and this process can be either supervised or not supervised by humans, so you're entirely relying on a computer in this case. Then you have neural networks, where a computer tries to mimic how the human brain operates, to apply things that are only natural to the human being, things that a computer can't do, like for instance using common sense or having imagination, and the computer tries to mimic these concepts in order to organize data. Then we have outlier detection, which is kind of like data cleaning. However, outlier detection tries to find points that differ or diverge from the rest of a sample of data points. This is normally used to test for fraudulent transactions or abnormal credit card usage. Then we have prediction, where data is turned into a project of future action or behavior. In this case, data sets are analyzed to look for specific patterns or trends, and then are used to calculate the probabilities of a future outcome. Finally, we have data warehousing, which is when data from multiple sources is stored in a common archive before it is evaluated. This is kind of a preliminary way to store and organize data, and it's one of the very first steps of data mining. Where is data mining applied though? As mentioned before, data mining happens even without us noticing it, and it is used in many different types of businesses, like for instance banking, healthcare, marketing, insurance, and also different business sectors and departments such as sales, marketing again, manufacturing. Then this is for instance for companies who produce their own goods. Data mining can help them analyze what's the cost of their raw materials, which products are being used the most, how much time is spent in the manufacturing process. Things like this can really help to ensure that the flow of goods in a company that produces their own goods is uninterrupted. Also, fraud detections, as we mentioned earlier with outlier detection, which is one of the techniques used in data mining, where you try to find points that differ or diverge from the rest of a sample. And here banks use this to see if someone has been committing frauds. Maybe someone stole your credit card, maybe someone stole your debit card, and they're using it in another state, buying things that you've never bought. This is where a bank might say like, oh, this data does not correlate to what this person usually used their credit card or bank information for. So maybe someone's committing fraud, and this is super important. And it's also happened to me sometimes when I go to other states and I put gas in my card will decline or it would get blocked because it just doesn't correlate with where I normally get my gas from, or the things I normally buy, or the places I normally buy stuff from. So this is very important. It can help you detect fraud, and it can help you solve a lot of issues with your money. Also, we have human resources, where businesses use data mining to determine promotions, salary ranges, company benefits, and employee satisfaction surveys. And last but not least, customer service, where operational information is gathered so businesses can determine how to deliver a better service to its customers. So as you see, data mining is not only about social media and getting ads on Instagram. It's applied in many different industries, and you don't even know it. Ways that a company can get better at customer services is through using data mining. Maybe you don't notice it, but if a company is getting better, if a company is delivering better customer service, maybe it's because they use data mining, and this can benefit you. Kind of adding to that point, what are the benefits of data mining? But first, why is data mining important? As I said earlier, it is used across almost every industry. It provides important information about customer habits and industry trends. Businesses can compile reliable information, identify risk factors, respond to industry adjustments, make informed decisions, and more. So as I said earlier, if you see that a company is constantly improving, Maybe it's because they've used data mining to determine flaws and improve on them. Now, what are the main benefits of using it? First and foremost, without data mining, businesses wouldn't be able to understand the trends of their own industry or their audiences fully. Of course, if you're a small business and you know who the clients that walk in your door every day, like if you're a small business and you know every person that walks through your door, then probably you don't need to rely heavily on data set analysis. However, companies like Amazon or Disney have millions of clients. They're all from different backgrounds, ages, etc. Data mining is essential in businesses like this that have a vast amount of data and information. How can they make sure that they deliver a better customer service with so many people buying their products and visiting their parks and watching their movies? It's just too much information. Someone needs to get all that information, store it, and organize it so someone can analyze it and determine solutions. Data mining also allows for better decision making, as it helps to recognize customer habits or business needs. With data mining, you predict and stay ahead of business operation flows without interruption. You can also make sure money is being spent correctly. It can also improve marketing targets, as marketing is more targeted and personalized for an individual and their needs. And in this case, businesses can also develop personalized ads like the one you see in social media, which sometimes it's kind of good. Sometimes if I'm looking for socks, as I mentioned at the beginning, and I see an ad about it in social media and it's the socks I really wanted, that just saves me a lot of time and effort. Businesses that use data mining also have a competitive edge against other businesses, as they can quickly respond and make sure customer needs are met. And customers gravitate towards companies that can provide them a personalized experience. And as I mentioned before, you can also identify risk factors. But of course, nothing's perfect, and data mining also has its disadvantages. What do you think might be bad with it, apart from the fact that our information is being extracted and sold without us not even knowing it? Well, data mining is not as accurate and precise as you might think. Sometimes there might be missing data or errors. Also, you kind of heavily rely on the person that's doing the data mining. If someone's not really experienced at it, if someone doesn't know how to do it correctly, that can affect the way data is analyzed and organized. Also, there are huge concerns regarding privacy. As we know, our data is being sold to third parties without our knowledge. Sometimes we know, but most of the times we don't, and that is quite concerning. Data mining also requires large databases to be effective. Not any business can do it. To be successful at data mining, businesses need big samples of data. So it's not enough if you only have a list of 100 customers. You need a lot of information, probably like 10,000 or things like that, to actually get accurate and insightful data. Bearing in mind this, data mining is expensive. Companies also need to hire employees like data scientists to ensure it is done correctly. Businesses must also invest in advanced data mining software. So, if you're a small business, maybe think twice about doing data mining, because most of the times, the cost of data mining outweighs the benefits, because it is too expensive, and also it won't produce valuable insights for a company that has a small amount of customers or clients. So as you can see, data mining is really important in the world nowadays. Without it, many businesses couldn't function properly. And of course, it has its disadvantages. There's privacy issues with things we see in our phones. But at the end of the day, the benefits outweigh the disadvantages.